A goalkeeper sprinted off the line and crashed straight into a player's head at full speed, knocking him unconscious on the pitch. 2 teeth gone, a broken jaw, a possible spinal injury. But the referee? He just gave a goal kick. And years later, a shot would hit the underside of the bar, bounce clearly over the line and spin back out, and England would be eliminated from the World Cup because play was waved off. These are just some of the most insane referee mistakes that will leave you stunned. And without much further ado, let's get started with the video. Number 1. Schumacher vs Battiston, 1982. Now, a World Cup semi-final is supposed to be the highest level of football. The best players, biggest stage, most careful decisions. And instead, in Seville, it turned into something far more dangerous. So France were pushing forward late in the match against West Germany when Michel Platini slipped a pass through the defence. Now Patrick Battiston chased it down, eyes locked on the ball as he moved toward goal. And at the same time, German goalkeeper Harald Schumacher charged off his line at full speed. They collided head-on, and Battiston's body went limp instantly. He collapsed onto the pitch unconscious. He had lost 2 teeth on impact. His jaw was damaged. Medical staff later confirmed he had suffered a concussion and suspected spinal trauma. And for several seconds, he wasn't moving at all. Players from both teams began waving frantically for help, and then came the decision. Dutch referee Charles Corver looked at the scene and awarded a goal kick. No foul was given. No yellow card, no red card, no punishment of any kind. Schumacher remained on the pitch as Battiston was carried away on a stretcher and taken to hospital. West Germany would go on to win the match on penalties and advance to the World Cup final. For many watching around the world, the message was chilling. Even on football's biggest stage, a collision that left a player unconscious could pass without consequence. And that moment left a player in hospital, but the next one would send a team home. Lampard ghost goal, 2010. So England were already chasing the game in Bloemfontein when the moment arrived. Germany had taken control early in their round of 16 clash at the 2010 World Cup, racing into a 2-0 lead. Matthew Upsett pulled one back for England just before half-time, giving them a way back into the match. And minutes later, Frank Lampard stepped forward outside the box and struck the ball cleanly. It rose quickly, slammed into the underside of the crossbar and bounced down. And from almost every angle, it was clear what had just happened. The ball landed well over the goal line before spinning back into play. Now, German goalkeeper Manuel Neuer immediately cleared it away as if nothing had happened. England's players raised their arms, Lampard turned toward the referee, the German defenders looked uncertain for a split second. Play continued, and Uruguayan referee Jorge Larionda and his assistant allowed the match to go on without awarding the goal. Replays shown around the world confirmed the ball had fully crossed the line by a significant margin. Instead of levelling the score at 2-2 before half-time, England went into the break still trailing. Germany later added 2 more goals and won the match 4-1, ending England's tournament. Now, in the years that followed, FIFA would introduce goal line technology into the game, a system designed to answer the exact question that had just been ignored in real time. Now, at least in 2010, it was one decision, but if we go back to 2002, it kept happening. Spain vs South Korea 2002. Now you see, by the time Spain walked onto the pitch for their quarter-final against South Korea at the 2002 World Cup, the host nation had already captured the attention of the football world. Their run through the tournament had energised stadiums and built momentum with every match. Spain thought they had taken the lead midway through the second half when the ball was headed into the net during a crowded moment in the box. The referee signalled for a foul instead, disallowing the goal, and play moved on. Now later in the match, Spain found the net again. Joaquin chased a loose ball near the byline and crossed it into the area where it was finished from close range. And this time, the assistant referee flagged that the ball had gone out of play before the cross was delivered. Television replays showed the ball appearing to stay inside the field. As extra time passed, Spain continued pushing forward through a series of attacks that were repeatedly halted by offside decisions, and the flow of the game slowed as frustration began to show across the Spanish side. The match eventually went to penalties. South Korea converted their attempts and advanced to the semi-finals. Spain were eliminated after seeing 2 of their goals ruled out during open play. And in the days that followed, the officiating decisions became one of the most widely debated aspects of the entire tournament. Now, years later, the game would have the tools to get it right, and it still wouldn't. Euro 2024. Now, by 2024, the game had video assistant referees, multiple camera angles, slow motion replays, and a review system built specifically to catch decisions inside the penalty area. Every touch of the ball could be examined from different perspectives within seconds. So during a knockout stage match at UEFA Euro 2024, an attacking move ended with the ball striking a defender's arm inside the box, and players from the attacking side reacted immediately, appealing for a penalty as the referee allowed play to continue. Now, the VAR team reviewed the incident. No on-field review was recommended, no penalty was given. The match moved forward and the result was eventually decided without that call ever being made. And in the aftermath of the game, UEFA's referees committee assessed the situation and later confirmed that the handball should have resulted in a penalty under the competition's guidelines. The contact met the criteria for an offence, and a spot kick would have been the expected outcome. But the admission came after the final whistle, long after the result had already been recorded. The scoreline stood, the elimination remained. But that's not as crazy as what Maradona did in broad daylight. The Hand of God, 1986. Okay, in the quarter-final of the 1986 World Cup, Argentina and England were locked in a tense match at the Estadio Azteca. The game had carried heavy emotion from the opening whistle, with both teams searching for a breakthrough. And early in the second half, Diego Maradona played the ball forward into the penalty area. It deflected off an English defender and looped high into the air toward goal. England goalkeeper Peter Shilton moved to claim it, stepping forward with his arms raised. Maradona jumped with him. As the ball dropped between them, Maradona made contact with his left hand, guiding it past Shilton and into the net. Now, several England players immediately appealed, pointing toward the handball. The referee, Ali bin Nasser, consulted briefly with his assistant before awarding the goal. Play resumed, with Argentina in front. Replays shown after the match revealed clear contact between Maradona's hand and the ball, and he later described the goal as coming a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. Argentina went on to win the match 2-1 and eventually lifted the World Cup trophy. The incident remains one of the most discussed refereeing decisions in football history, the single missed call helping to shape the outcome of an entire tournament. Now, that was a rule broken in plain sight, but this time the rule was simply forgotten. 3 yellow cards, 2006. Group stage matches at the World Cup often move quickly, with referees expected to manage physical play, time wasting and rising tempers across 90 minutes. And during Croatia's match against Australia in 2006, English referee Graham Poll reached into his pocket to caution defender Josip Simanic after a late challenge. The yellow card was shown and play continued. And later in the game, Simanic committed another foul and was booked again. Now, under the laws of the game, 2 yellow cards require a player to be sent off immediately. Play should have stopped for a red card at that point. It didn't. Simanic remained on the pitch and continued playing as the match moved into its closing minutes. Croatia was still searching for a result that would keep their hopes alive in the tournament. And near full-time, Poll called another foul against Simanic and once again produced a yellow card. But this time he followed it by showing the red and sending the defender off. So Poll had recorded the earlier bookings incorrectly during the match, allowing a player who had already reached the limit for cautions to stay on the field. The error was later described by Poll himself as a mistake in applying the laws of the game. He was not appointed to referee any further matches in that World Cup. But then comes the night that broke trust. Chelsea versus Barcelona, 2009. Okay, so Stamford Bridge was already tense by the time the second half began. Chelsea had taken the lead early in the Champions League semi-final, second leg, through Michael Essien, and with the away goals rule in place, they were in position to reach the final. Barcelona needed a goal to stay alive in the tie. As the minutes passed, Chelsea began pushing forward in search of a second. Florent Malouda went down in the penalty area after contact from Eric Abidal near the edge of the box. The referee awarded a free kick just outside. Later, Didier Drogba appealed for a penalty after going down under a challenge. Play continued. And in another attack, the ball struck Gerard Piqué's arm inside the box during a Chelsea cross. No penalty was given. Michael Ballack chased the referee moments later, reacting to another handball appeal that was waved away. Chelsea continued to protest through a series of incidents that they believed warranted a spot kick. The match reached stoppage time with Barcelona still needing a goal. Andrés Iniesta scored from outside the area in the final minutes, sending Barcelona through on away goals. And at full time, Drogba confronted referee Tom Henning-Overbro near the tunnel. His reaction broadcast live to millions watching around the world. The decisions from that night quickly became one of the most debated refereeing performances in Champions League history. Now, that night raised questions, but the next referee would raise far more. The referee who went to prison, Byron Moreno, 2002. So, Italy entered their round of 16 match against South Korea at the 2002 World Cup as one of the tournament's strongest sides. The game was physical from the opening minutes, with challenges flying in across midfield as both teams searched for control. Ecuadorian referee Byron Moreno was in charge. Now, South Korea were awarded a penalty in the first half after a challenge inside the box. Gianluigi saved the spot kick, keeping Italy level and giving them a way back into the match. As play continued, Francesco Totti moved into the penalty area during extra time and went to ground under pressure from a defender. Moreno produced a yellow card for simulation. It was Totti's second booking of the match. He was sent off. Minutes later, Italy thought they had found a winner when Damiano Tomasi finished a through ball during extra time. The assistant referee raised his flag for offside and the goal was disallowed. South Korea eventually scored the golden goal that ended the match and advanced to the quarterfinals. Now, in 2010, Moreno was arrested at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York after being found with heroin hidden inside his clothing. He later pleaded guilty to drug smuggling charges and served time in a federal prison in the United States. Then comes the ghost goal that won a World Cup. England, 1966 ghost goal. Extra time at Wembley had already pushed both teams to their limits. England and West Germany were tied in the 1966 World Cup final when Geoff Hurst received the ball inside the penalty area. He turned and struck it with power. The shot flew upward, hit the underside of the crossbar and bounced down onto the turf before spinning away from goal. For a moment, play hesitated. West German defenders moved to clear the ball. England's players immediately appealed, pointing toward the line. The referee, Gottfried Dienst of Switzerland, paused and looked toward his assistant referee, Tofik Bamarov. After a brief exchange, the decision was made. The goal was awarded. England took the lead and Hurst later added another to complete a 4-2 victory. The result secured England's first and only World Cup title. And in the years that followed, the incident became one of football's most debated moments. Footage from different angles has been studied repeatedly, with some analyses suggesting the ball may not have fully crossed the line before bouncing back into play. Truly, each of these moments shaped history in real time. And that brings us back to 1982, to Patrick Battiston lying motionless on the pitch after a collision that received no foul. Was it incompetence or something more? Comment down below as you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one. See you next time.